blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time. That's my girl right there. Ooh, here we are.
Salutations, airplanes.
Whew,
Did you
welcome
miss
everybody.
me? Did you miss me? Listen, here we are.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Man. Happy Thursday, not Tuesday, Lord.
Yeah. No.
Thursday.
Don't you roll it back. Don't you roll the sweet back.
Happy Thursday, everybody.
Happy Thursday, everybody. How was your day, Troy?
It was good. It was good. It was busy. It was a busy day.
Yeah,
Veep
likewise.
was veeping. Yeah.
I get it. Yes, this was an action-packed day for the girl, and she already in her Bermuda. You understand? Yes, and getting it together, just enjoying life. You know, I really am enjoying the transitions of life right now. I can say that. You know, it's okay. You know, everything is well. All is well, as my grandma always used to say. All is well. So I'm good. I'm glad you're having a good week. So
yes,
tonight's
there's room for improvement.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. But life be life, and then you just got to learn how to, bob and weave.
There you go. How to maneuver. No doubt.
So I'm excited. Tonight's guest, man, let me tell you, I've been wanting to get these women on my show for quite some time because they are one of the podcasts that I personally watch. Okay. I have about 5 that I watch religiously or listen to, and they are in my 5.
Okay.
So I've been listening to them and watching them for a while, and I love them, and I love what they have to say, and I love their chemistry. So tonight, I'm ready. I'm ready to get started. So let's go ahead and get these sponsors.
No doubt. All righty. So we're going to start with the first, and that is, the sweetest lime.
You see it. Look, the sweetest lime. She do me. She meet me. She make me look good. She always keep my locks lovely. My sis, Mikaya Mitchell, you know, she is the natural hair guru doing locks, natural hair, makeup. She now has her own brick and mortar location, not at her home, which has massage therapists, which my sister is also my baby sister works there as a massage therapist. She has nail techs in there. And, you know, my baby sister is a massage therapist. I mean, y'all, you got to go check her out. That's all I'm going to tell you. And when it comes to color, oh my God. And the other girl that works in her shop and does hair, that girl is the business. I'm going to tell y'all. So listen, if you want to get your locks, natural hair, she does non-natural hair. I mean, she's a beautician. So she does it all. She cuts, I mean, you name it. So you can call her if you want to sell them, if you're in the Triad area, even if you're not, because people do drive to get her services. You can call her at 336-734-3307. You can hit the QR code right there to go to her website to see her stuff. She's on Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. I had to think about it under the sweetest line. She's on Facebook under Mikaya Mitchell. Whenever you book her, please make sure you tell her Carla sent you. Okay.
So we're going to our girl, Myra.
Intuitive Readings by Myra. Just that. For those of you who've never had an energy or an intuitive reading, my friend Myra is the truth. And when I tell you, God, spirit puts her right in your business every time. She's not a fortune teller. Let me say that. She's an energy reader. That's something different. That is something totally different. She takes your energy, and your energy tells her everything that you need to know about yourself and what you need to do. And I'm telling you, it's an amazing experience. Um, Myra is here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, but she also does virtual readings. So you can go to intuitivereadingsbymyra.com if you want to book her virtually. You can click that QR code there to book her. You can call her at 336-480-1653. If you're in the Triad area, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point, you can go to her office. You can call her, set it up. Most importantly, when you do, let her know Carla sent you, okay?
And
But
Myra
here's
is
the other
also.
thing about Myra. She's an
Mhm.
Aquarius, y'all. She's so creative. So she has this brand called Made with Love by Myra. And when I tell you, this woman makes some phenomenal stuff. She makes candles. She makes necklaces. She makes jewelry. You name it. She makes the shea butters. She does all that. She makes these scents that go with your body chemistry. It's really dope what she does. So you can go to Made with Love by Myra.co, not com, but .co for my people out there in listening land, and order from her. You can also call her at any time. She makes these natural soaps that are amazing. The candles, the shea butter, the different home fragrances. Call her 336-480-1653 if you have questions for her. She's always willing to answer those questions, and she'll get back with you immediately. And when you do reach out to her, please let her know Carla sent you, okay?
Indeed. All righty. So
Ooh, sorry. We
you're
both
good.
getting choked up. What's happening?
Don't know. We're excited for you. Yes, that's what it is.
I think it's the pollen, to be honest. And I've been around these
Mm.
children. You know, I've been substitute teaching, child.
God help you.
I love it. I love it, though. It's been fun. It's been loads of fun. You know, I just know that teachers really should be making far more money than what they make. I'm going to tell you that right now. So it's
I
been
heard that.
enlightening. So my guests tonight, y'all, they are just extremely phenomenal. They're both phenomenal. One lady goes by Coach Cash. That's what her people call her, Miss Karen Sims Harrell. And then we have Miss Natika. She is Nikita. I'm sorry, Nikita. She is phenomenal. Also, both of these ladies are mentors, life coaches, they're friends, they're advocates. I mean, they gave me this long list of stuff, but I was like, let me tell you, the best way to introduce these women is for them to introduce themselves because they can speak very well for themselves. They are one of my favorite podcasts, Unhinged Live, here on YouTube and on SaveTheArts.com. They are on the Save the Arts channel on YouTube. They are phenomenal. They have phenomenal guests. They keep it real, which is why I had to bring them on here tonight because, baby, sometimes they say stuff and you be like, but it's the truth. So we already had some invigorating conversation before we came on. So I just cannot wait to bring these ladies on so they can tell you all about themselves because I feel like who better to tell somebody about themselves than themselves, right? So without further ado, we're going to bring on the dynamic duo. That's what I call them. Miss Karen and Miss Nikita. Bring them off Crazy Carla Concoctions. Here they go. The ladies.
Hey, hello.
I am so grateful and thankful that you ladies have graced me with your presence on tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I am so excited. You see, I'm getting tongue tied, but it could be the wine. Who knows? Whatever. But, you know, I am just grateful to have y'all on here. I have enjoyed y'all shows. I have chuckled watching y'all shows. I have laughed out loud watching y'all show. I have gotten off of y'all show and thought about things. I have cried at some of the things I've heard on your show, you know. So I feel like as women, and especially Black women, we have to do that. We have to sow into each other. And what I appreciate about y'all is that you sow into us. And when I say us, the Black community, and you keep it real. And when I say that, sometimes people get all up in arms, but let me tell y'all something. The Black community is a worldwide thing. We
Yes.
are everybody. Everybody comes from us. So when I say the Black community, you can get upset if you want to, but baby, everything comes from us. Culture, everything. And so when I say it unashamedly, unabashedly, and I don't take it back. Okay. And these ladies here, they represent us to the fullest. And I'm so glad that y'all saw fit to come on my show tonight. So I don't care. I don't know. I mean, y'all can go alphabetical order. Y'all can do it. Y'all know because y'all know each other. Please
Well,
introduce yourself to the audience, please.
all right. Karen is looking at me in that particular tone of voice, so
She
I'm
knows.
assuming she would like me to go first. Hello, everyone. My name is Nikita Hansford, also known in these internet streets as Tilted Halo, the one and the only. And if you notice, I spell tilted a little different. I spell it with a Y, not an I, because I have questions, baby. I'm a whole Virgo, so I will question you
Oh,
down.
Lord.
All right. I am a mother. I'm a glamma. I'm a glamma because I have 4 grandchildren and I'm still too cute to be
Yes,
wearing the grandma moniker. Okay. So yes, I
yes,
am my
ma'am.
mother's. Yes, I am my mother's second child, her firstborn daughter. I am her dreamer, her love child personified. So when she named me Nikita, it was absolutely appropriate. My name means victory. So, baby, I stay winning. And I stay winning because of my faith and my ability to stand on the firm foundation of my belief in God. So, what else about me? I'm an author, I'm a life coach, I'm a mental health advocate, foster care advocate. I am a friend of God. I am a daughter, I'm a sister, I am a friend. I am every woman and I am Black history. But let me get up off of here because I'm not
Come
really
on, girl. Keep talking. Say something what you're saying. Shaba. I love it. I love it.
I am, but notice I keep saying I am, and that is
Yes.
absolutely no reference to myself. But as we have this conversation tonight, you'll get to the audience. Hopefully, y'all will hear more of where that really comes from in my heart. So, Coach
Yes.
Flash, I gotta go ahead
I'm
and
a tag
toss the
team.
mic to you, sis.
I
I
love it.
love it.
I
I
love it. That
love
was a
it.
beautiful introduction. Listen, y'all see why I keep her close because she know how to, set the stage. So I am
Yeah.
Karen Santaro, known in these streets as Coach Cash, owner and entrepreneur, principal life coach of Twisted Threads LLC. And so as a businesswoman, as a wife, as a mom, and as a Mimi, because similar to my sister Tilted, I'm too busy being fly to be anybody's
Okay.
grandma. So if y'all looking for somebody to sit down, I'm not the one. If y'all looking for somebody to teach these kids some of the traditional things, that's not what we learning over here. Mimi's crew is learning business and legacy every single day. And why is
Yeah.
that so important for me? Because as I mentioned, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm one of those DEI advocates that they trying to get rid of. And y'all already know my voice is too big. My energy is too wide to
Yes.
shut it. But y'all could call it any other name you want to call it. I'm a door opener. What I love to do, I am a goal digger, and we'll talk about that, why that's so important to life coaching and how I help people attain their goals. And a term that I've gone by for many years is I am the dreamer's midwife, helping people birth the dreams that they have from beginning to end, because many of us have dreams and it seems really, really big, and then we don't do anything. All the folks that know me know my favorite line. What is it? I'm here for the cake. And we cannot get to the cake until we achieve the goal. And so with all of the things that we
Yes.
community from north, south, honey, one thing that we say often, and we've been saying it for years now, we are here after zip codes and area codes, right? We can stay
Women.
in our own backyard, but as we continue to expand, it gives us the opportunity to literally impact the world. So, Carla, as you already said, we are worldwide just as being a part of the Black community, but we love to expand our reach because the world is in need of more of us, and they don't even know it. They don't even know it, but we are
They
here
know
to
it.
Ooh. On that. Cheers.
Now
Cheers.
look at here. Now that we done heard this, all this, look at here. What we drinking? Because baby, this look, we deserve a toast. I say we're gonna toast up to us to being magnificent, blacknificent, universal, intergalactic, supernova women. You understand? Because I really believe that we are out here not just on Earth, but I really believe that we are supernatural and that there's a lot of us in a lot of places, and it's going to shock a lot of people when they start finding out, oh, okay. So I'm drinking Merlot. It's good. I forget the brand because I just love Merlot and Shiraz, and that's what I'm drinking. Since I'm boycotting a specific rapper who was my favorite wine, and he done messed up, and I got to punish him for a little while. What you drinking, Karen?
So this is not wine at all, but I started because I'm on my pineapple kick right now. So this is
Good.
a splash. Well, no, it's a lot of pineapple, right? A lot of pineapple juice because we're doing that. We got
Okay.
cranberry juice here, and then there may or may not be a douse of some silver Patron. That's what we doing.
Girl, that's called a concoction, girl. That is a
Listen,
concoction.
inspired by you. I said we can't just pour something in the glass. We got to make it up. So there you go. This is my cranberry pineapple sunshine. That's what we calling it. There we go.
And I love it because us island girls love a good island drink. I love it. Okay. Now, what about you, Nikita?
Well, I'm always pressed for time, and shout out to all the red representation here on screen. First of all,
Yes.
red is life. But I'm drinking some sangria on this.
Oh yes, the blood.
Because
Yes.
it just touches everywhere of my soul that needs to be impacted as a reflection of the blessings that are flowing to me in this life. It dances. It's
I love
sweet.
it.
I love it.
Sweet. It is tart all at the same time, and to take you where you need to go when you need to get there.
I love a good sangria, as we call it. I love it. And it's wonderful sangria. Yes. And it's wonderful. So, boing, mazel tov, all that good stuff. Yes. So, now, you ladies, she already, Nikita done came out the gate just like pow, 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 pew, 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 pew. And we was listening. I was listening. Because I usually, one of the first things I ask my ladies or my guests, because it's not always women, of course, where you're from, where you're at, and what's your zodiac sign. So you already told us you was a Virgo. Okay. Now, child, I know how y'all are. My God. My sister, Sweetest Slime, who does my hair, she's a Leo, but half of her chart is Virgo. And that's why she's so OCD and a perfectionist. And I tell her this all the time. I said, you the Leo-ist, Virgo-ist person I ever met in my life. And she really is. And it's a good thing because she keeps everybody on their toes. Everybody got to be something, right? And so, I know, Nikita, you're a Virgo. What are you, Karen? You're Gemini, right?
No, I'm a Pisces.
Pisces.
You're a Pisces.
Yes.
When's your birthday?
I'm the 9th. I'm close. I know I'm close to. Am I close to you? I'm close to you. I'm the 9th.
No, now my daughter. So you're March the 9th?
March 9th. Who's March 9th on your side?
My aunt Sheila that just passed in December. My aunt that helped raise me.
You know what? We need to raise a glass to Aunt Sheila because
Aunt Sheila.
listen, Aunt Sheila, this one for you.
Look, God is so intentional. Come through, ancestors.
Come on.
My mom's baby sister passed from it just was so sudden in December, and she's the baby of 17, and when that happens, we were we're still reeling from it, actually. So my family is just reeling from it. She took care of all the kids in our family. Me, when I was born, she was still in high school. She would take my kids to Cincinnati every summer, and they would stay with her. She has mothered single-handedly. Peace, 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 my shine. Y'all, there go my sunshine. I know y'all know my sunshine. She has her poetry podcast here on Blast, also on Friday nights, and she is one of the dopest poets to ever do it, representing Rahway, New Jersey, my girl. That's my sis.
You know we Jersey in the house now. I'm in North Carolina, but I'm a Jersey girl all day. So Pisces from Jersey, down here I'm not trying to fit in, but that's my favorite line. I'm not from here, so don't start no stuff.
Listen, I'll be like, honey, I don't care where you from. I tell people that I got northern and southern in me. What you want?
It could be whatever.
It could be whatever.
It could be whatever. And I love shout out to Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Shout out to South Plainfield, where my folk reside.
All right.
And Philly, Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Jersey. Shout out to Jersey. I'm sitting right here in the middle of Phillipsburg, New Jersey. I'm a state liner. Yes, honey.
You on the border.
Yes,
yeah,
I get both worlds. I get the best of both worlds. I often remind people, y'all caught the suburban version of me, as somebody with some wisdom and some sense at this big age. So I often, have to warn people or even ask, what area code do you want? Because I represent not only New Jersey, I grew up in Stockton, California, so I'm bi-coastal.
Oh,
so I got a different kind of swag to me.
That's what. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say you have a Cali vibe. I like it. I like that. It's good. All of us are, and I gave birth to a Pisces also, Karen. My daughter, my firstborn, February 24th. She just turned 29. Look, she's talking about my pull-up game, just like New Jersey Drive. Listen.
Listen, okay.
I have to not tell that one stuff because she will get in the car. She in Charlotte. Hey. Let somebody mess with her shoes. She be like, where you at? You home? I be like, first of all, I got you. I'm the big
part. Put the car in.
Stand down.
But we love each other, so that's how I want to
love. It's good to be loved.
It is. So you're in Phillipsburg. Karen, where are you at?
I am right outside of Raleigh, so I'm in Cary, North Carolina.
I love Cary.
Yep. So we're gonna see how long we stand over here. But my firstborn, who is also a Pisces, she is March 2nd. And they just moved to Greensboro. So they're in Greensboro. They've been here almost a year with my 4 oldest grands. I travel. I'm never up there enough, but they expensive. So I thought it was a good idea when they said we moving down here. And then I realized, wait a minute, I need some of my money, right? I need some. So I got to not see them as often as my heart would like, because they expensive.
Listen, I know, because Pinky runs my pockets. Let me tell you. She do.
That's all.
But she already done told me, because I got an Aries grandbaby, and she said I want a Barbie. She been telling me since Christmas I want a Barbie birthday party. Sugar, and they call me Sugar because Grandma's not allowed. They call me Sugar. Everybody, the teachers, everybody call me Sugar. I substituted at her school Monday. The teacher was like, Sugar, what are you doing here? I was like, listen, I'm here.
On assignment.
Never mind. Okay. but it's great. So, did you ladies send anything to Troy that you want to be shown on the show
No, we
tonight?
did not. We did not. We gonna do. We'll share. We didn't send anything to Troy, but we'll be more prepared for the next time because we coming back. We'll be
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Absolutely. And
And
you
you
know
gonna
what?
come
Y'all are my
prepared.
97th episode.
Yes. Congratulations.
Listen, that is a huge feat right there.
Yes, it is. Oh
I'm
my
just
goodness.
like, oh,
I love
so
it.
I'm hoping y'all will pop back in on the 100th because usually when I have a milestone, I like for all my favorites to pop in. So I don't know what Troy gonna do, how he gonna reach out, but I just want to thank you for coming on. I just tell people because you don't have to take the time out to spend the time with me.
Yeah.
So when I watch your show, one of the questions that really intrigued me was, and I've heard the stories, so I listen to you ladies, but how did you decide? I know that you both life coaches because you both had your own different life experiences. You're both mothers, you're both, glam mommies, glammies, as I call it. Um, we've all encountered hurt and pain at the hands of people, earthlings, okay? And you took that pain and you turned it into something to help other people. And I like hearing how you said you're teaching your grandchildren the non-traditional things to build legacy and things of that nature. And Nikita, I like how you bust the door down when you said, you're a foster care advocate because we got so many Black and brown children that are stuck, that are trapped in this system of foster care. My big sister, shout out Carla, is adopted. She's a heavyweight champion of the world, boxing coach for Winston-Salem State and Wake Forest University. And I say, when her birth mother decided to let her go, it was a blessing to my family because my mother decided that she was just what we needed. And so, shout out to the people that are out there taking care of these children who sadly a lot of people have turned their back on. You understand me? So, talk to me about what was your aha moment for deciding to share your pain to bring love to others.
Wow, the aha moment. Oh my goodness. Where do I start this particular share moment? The aha moment was when I learned that my father, my biological father, had passed away. And I didn't find out he had been buried until after a month after his service. So I had to deal with that turmoil in my spirit and in my mind by myself. And it was easy for me to say, look, why didn't anybody call me? Why didn't anybody call me and tell me? I would have loved to been able to be there to pay my respects. But
Wow.
Here's the deal. I heard myself. Why didn't anybody call me? And it's like the Holy Spirit just checked me in that moment. It's like, do you hear yourself? You had a responsibility in this. So in that moment, I was like, all right, I take responsibility for losing contact because I relocated, life, got to life and then things just happened. So I decided to start doing the work then. If I say I love somebody and if I say I want something, I should go after it and make sure they know I want them in their lives. That caused me to see how detached I can become. It's not just a Virgo thing. That was a trauma thing. How detached I can become from people I know are family, so to speak, because I didn't grow up with them. So I have to learn to love every person that I encounter. So the work began then.
Right.
I went looking for my birth sister at that point because I recognized she was alone at this moment. She had also lost her mother within the same week of losing our father.
Oh,
I hopped a flight to California and reconnected with my siblings that my mother had given up for adoption. I met my nieces and my nephews that I had never met before. I went back home to Stockton after 25 years. And I promise you, me taking the time to do that work, it brought me back to New Jersey. It was almost as if you had plugged me into an electric circuit.
Wow.
Doors began to open for me, and I began to share my story then. I was a co-host on a radio station. Shout out to my former affiliate, Reading Radio Live, where I was given that opportunity by a brother at the church who heard my voice because I sing. And I was actually in the studio on a panel as a guest, and he just hollered at me. He didn't realize that this was already on my vision board. And so the broadcasting journey began. So fast forward, my birth mother passes away during the pandemic, and I was alone. Another journey to self. So I went on ahead and sat with God and understood the purpose and why I was intentional about even reconnecting with her. She became one of my best friends. And I became an advocate for her. She was a lifelong addict. But what I learned about her after spending every day for a year to keep her sober, I was like, look, I got questions. Why am I like this? Why are you like this? She became my best friend, and she told me, she gave me answers. So when she passed away, I recognized that God was strategic even then in making sure I did the work to love my mother. I had to study love. And people say love, and they don't really understand what they're saying to people. So when I say I love you, am I patient with you?
Yeah.
Am I kind to you? Am I willing to suffer long with you? So that's where the life purpose thing happened for me. I understood that no matter what was happening in my life, there was a unique purpose God had designed for me. And me looking deep within myself and, following what I learned through my scriptural studies, it just led me to a place where my favorite scripture is Revelation 12:11. We overcome the adversary by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And we love not our lives as unto death. I didn't want to hold my life just for me to be great. I needed to tell my story so somebody else could come through and walk into their greatness. That is why I went the pathway of life purpose. It all works together for our good. And if I can't be anything but a living testimony of that, that is why we produce the content we produce together. It's a wonderful dance. It's a reflection of my spirit. It's a wonderful dance. Naked and unashamed in the eyes of God. Mm-hmm.
I love that. That is so powerful.
Yeah, man. That's God. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
All
It's
day.
just me being able to hear his voice and tap into his energy and know when his presence is near. It's interesting. Very interesting.
It's so wild how God will bring you to an understanding of yourself, right? And not just like for me, I think, and we'll get back into that because it's look, Troy is messaging us. It's time for the artist of the week. Yeah, we got time because when we come back, we're gonna hear Karen's story. But I would just like to say, like for me, I was raised in a cult. I don't know if y'all have watched my show. I talk about it frequently. I was raised in a cult. And so my upbringing was a little different from other people's. But I ended up being a Baptist. I go to a Baptist church. Okay. But I don't really necessarily consider myself a Baptist at this point. I have some Baptist tendencies, but because I grew up in kind of like a doomsday cult, and I have the Baptist up, I did the Baptist thing. Now I'm very much into also realizing that there are some things that we were taught that are not necessarily
To the choir right now.
but what is real is my ancestors have proven to me that they are yet alive in the spirit realm, and they look out for me all the time. And we've been taught that's voodoo and that's pagan
Right?
and all those things. But if we could talk to angels,
Why can't we talk
because
to
they try to make us feel like God specifically describes angels in the Bible, and that is not what my ancestors are. My ancestors are my spirit ancestors, and that's something totally different. And if it is so easy for you to believe in angels, why is it so hard to believe that your own flesh and blood, their legacy,
Absolutely.
is not running interference for you all the time with God the Father or God the Mother, if that's what you believe in?
Absolutely.
And I really feel people get upset when I say that God is male and female, because he said, let us make them in our own image.
Fatherless. He said that though, mother to the motherless and father to the fatherless, but people skip that part.
And they don't want to hear it because we've been programmed.
Brainwashed.
Anyway, so we're going to go to the artist of the week, and then we're going to come back, and Miss Karen is going to give us her testimony. Okay.
All righty. And we got the Blast Artist Spotlight tonight. This is sponsored by Blast Radio 247. If you're looking for independent music around the globe, you can go to blastradio247.com, and it's free for you to enjoy. So tonight I decided once again to play my boy Elijah Rosario, and this is called Chemical Reaction. Let's check it out.
Is it too late to say that I'm sorry? Or have we reached that point of no return? Say what's on your mind, I don't wanna turn a blind eye to all the things that we've done to reach this point into an empty void, facing repercussions from the words of our choice. I'm just trying to find a reason we should stay. Be ashamed to throw it all away. I'm not giving up so easy. I still want you, need you, here with me in the middle of the night when you touch me so gently. If you're trusting, willing to learn me, after all the times I try pushing away, girl, I still see your life here with you, I'm still willing to admit my flaws, show you that I'm worth the cost, give you everything you need, prepared to catch you when you fall. You got me pleading on my knees, oh baby, don't leave me. You got me pleading on my knees, oh baby, 'cause I still want you, need you, here with me in the middle of the night when you touch me so gently. If you're trusting, willing to learn me, after all the times I tried pushing away, girl, I still see your life here with you, I'm real, my baby,
And that's our boy Derm's own Elijah Rosario with Chemical Reaction. And if you are an independent artist or a spoken word poet or up and coming comedian looking for some exposure, you can go to blastmusic247.com and register for free. But Blast is also looking for the fans. So if you're a fan of great music, you can go to blastmusic247.com, register as an unlimited fan, and have access to hundreds of independent music. So there's the QR code. Break out your iPhone and your Samsung, scan it, and it'll bring you to blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time. All right, ladies, back to y'all.
Thank you, Troy. Isn't he wonderful? He's the best. Thank you, Elijah. You know, I got a little choked up because when my father died, it was like so traumatic. My father died from AIDS in 1995 when it was still a thing. Okay, and people were like, "You're going around your dad, and he got AIDS. What if you could catch it?" But Spirit had already told me there was no way I could catch anything from loving and taking care of my father. And so to know that people have not been able to say their goodbyes, everything is by spirit, and I get it. So, I can't even imagine how your spirit was at the time that happened. And that's one of those things where you just had to sit down and get with yourself. You had no choice.
Had no choice. I remember sharing it with my pastor's wife during that season when she called to check on me, and she said, "Girl, God trusts you with this." Because we're also very good friends. She said, "God trusts you with this, and this would drive somebody else crazy."
That part.
But of course, she's a friend and my pastor's wife. She's also in touch with my prayer life and with how I worship. And when I worship, it's just me and God. I don't care nothing about who's in the room. Who's in. I'm here trying to get what I need to get. This ain't got nothing to do with none of y'all. I'm tapping into spirit for real. And I'm with you.
Wow.
Karen, you've been saying brainwashed. And, I arrived at that place during the pandemic after the death of my mother. I began to explore different parts of my cultural affiliation. I went deep. I went all the way to Africa because the internet is a beautiful place.
Isn't it?
So sitting in that room, I had access to information, and my thoughts towards my faith practice began to transform, and where I realized the importance of allowing people to just be, because they just need to be loved exactly where they are. So, it's just a whole lot where, I've even had people challenge me when I say I'm a Virgo. That's right, I'm a Virgo. And they try and tell me, like you said, that's demonic. You're dabbling and you're relying on horoscopes. One of the sisters even said to me that I was worshiping the stars, and I had to put her in check real quick. I'm like, I'm not worshiping the stars. Never that, baby. I'm worshiping the creator of the stars. And he gave each one of those stars purpose
and attributes.
Those stars actually held the birth of the Christ child, the one that you worship, the one you praise and celebrate. So, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to leave me alone, because
you don't even want to start that with me. I tell people that all the time.
The sky. So I'm a sky watcher, and the sky tells you everything you need to know. It has color. It really does speak. That's just what it is.
Even the smell and taste of it. If you pay attention.
And rain, and what direction you're heading in just by knowing where the sun rises and sets.
Yes.
I'm like, people don't. These are the conversations that we're gently introducing on our platform, because a lot of people ain't ready.
Gently, girl, it's something when you start having your awakening and you realize that you can't share it with everybody. Because they're not ready, and then you realize that you were that person at one time. You were not ready.
That is
there
true.
was a point in time that I was so churched that I could not hear anybody telling me anything. But one thing I've been all my life is a Leo.
That ain't never
August
changed.
14th, smack dab in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Love it.
But
Love
I'm a
it.
Pisces moon. And so I love so hard and so deep. And I'm an Aquarius rising.
Come on.
And if you upset me, I'll get missing on that ass. I know y'all love the Lord, but I could.
Listen,
Just call me Peter.
It
And
could
I
be
have to tell
whatever.
people sometime. I'll be like, I have to go be by myself sometime because the Aquarius in me, she have to get away so that she don't flip the tables and do things that'll send her
That
to
part.
jail.
Come on.
So anyway, I love that, Nikita, that you shared it with us. Now, Karen, tell us, what was your aha moment? What was that like?
You know, it's funny because I am a mother of 5 children, right? And so I started having babies before I knew what babies were. So literally got pregnant at 15, had my first child before I turned 16. Today is their father's birthday. And I promise you, I can say that with no animosity today, but that wasn't something. It'd be like, I would not care whether he was living or breathing. However, in my journey of growth, maturity, and forgiveness, right? There was a process while I was raising my children that I had to realize that not only was this man in my house and he didn't live there, but it was also hurt and shame and pain that I had attributed to another person that he couldn't help me break, until I got to that place where it was like, well, let me work on the process of forgiveness of myself for the choices that I had made, for the things that I thought in my life would be different. And it went past, who did I disappoint, right? Because my dad is a pastor, so I grew up like literally in the church my entire life. You can't tell me nothing. I got frequent flyer miles for as long as I stayed in the church. So don't ask me if I was there last Sunday. No, that in 1975, I spent 15 of 24 hours in church on one Sunday. So don't come for me. However, in that time, I also had to find the opportunity to kind of face what I believed to be the way for me, right? So we sometimes refer to ourselves as those misfits, right? Because the way that I love God is not the way that you love God. So Karen Ann is my God-given name, the name my mama gave me. It means pure grace. And so I can come in with grace, but I may not leave that way depending on how you treat me. And so I had to learn as a young lady that some of the things that happened in my life was because I let them happen to me. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but my sister friend, Nikita, and myself are big on accountability, right? So it came to a point where, do I blame that one man and every other man that came after him? Or do I take some control to be able to set boundaries in my life for the life that I want to live? And so literally at the time that Nikita and I met, it was me leaving New Jersey with my family, and we moved to Pennsylvania, and that was all a God move. I didn't know nobody there. Rebuilt and built so well, they still calling me back for stuff. That's it. That's how wide God opened that door for not just me, but my all of my children. And Nikita, fun fact, served as our choir director. And so for those who know me and my children, we some singing folk. That's all we're gonna say for that. Worship team, before y'all ain't let the choir sing. I said what I said. Choir, when it used to be a thing, now we see them every once in a while. Back in the day, that was our every week job. How about that? It wasn't just one time a month. But the faith community is strong for me because it helped me get foundation, right? And so I can't even say a young age, but after I had, in the Bible it say, and then Mary's birthing years was done, and like, there's a life after that, right? And so I always tease with that, like, my birthing years was done, and then I was able to learn how to live life. What am I giving back? for a long time, I didn't think that I had anything to give. The voices that were speaking to me were not always positive, and so then I added my voice to the negativity, and so it took some time for me to unravel and be able to say, you know what, I pour so much into my children, because you couldn't tell my kids nothing. You can't tell them nothing, because I made sure that what was in them was literally as unbreakable as it could be. So that meant introducing them to God in prayer. That meant introducing to them that from the day you were born, you were better than anybody you ever will meet, right? So this seems like real big ego talking, but then they grew into the things that I said about them. And so for most parents, they think, well, my kids are no good. Well, what you tell them? What did you tell them when they was growing up? Because if you told them they wasn't no good, they probably just showing the mirror that you gave to them. And so I took it very seriously, raising my children, kept them in the church. And Nikita and I were in the same faith community, and so we had strong men in front of them of all nationalities. It wasn't just Black men, and of all professions. Because I didn't know what these kids wanted to do, but I wanted them to know that there's somebody that looks like you, or somebody that you know. So the news anchor, so the actor, the poet, the lawyer, the doctor, honey, all of it. I needed for them to see that. And so one of the things that my middle son would always say to me, he'd say, Mom, you spend so much time trying to make us great, but you the superstar now. Like, you the one that people want to know, while you were opening doors. And so because of the gift that God gave me to allow myself to be rebuilt, right? Because the rebuilding happened behind closed doors. Yes, it happened a little bit on the altar of tears. It happened during worship, but it only happened after I took the time to forgive myself. So fast forward a lot of years. Once we moved to Pennsylvania, everything was really, really well. My mom passed away in 2016. And so I was at the height of a whole bunch of things. Honey, you couldn't tell me nothing. 2015, now Kita, you remember, 2015 was when me and Brian was on the stage, right? So Brian, I went to a Brian McKnight concert. He took me on stage Saturday. I graduated with my degree. You couldn't tell me nothing in 2015, right? And because God is so great, he allowed a group of women to come around me, and I didn't know what they was there for, because Carla, I wasn't one that had a whole bunch of friends growing up. Even Nikita and I have a crazy friendship story where she literally came up to me and was like, God said I'm supposed to know you, and I'm sitting here in her face like, oh
girl.
And
I know just when you being a Pisces, you probably was looking at her like,
if she would have been all the way in the parking lot already. But the boldness that was there, and what God has done from that time. And so we've been able to share stages together. We've been able to share platforms together. But one of the things that I always counted as joy is when it came time for me to bury my mother, it was no pandemic. I had all of the people who could have been there. She was counted as one of the sisters that came alongside me. And so when I tell people that at one of the lowest points in my life, my feet never touched the ground, because God kept me on cloud 9, even through the burying of my mother, because all of those women, and it was a lot of them, all right? It was a lot of them.
Oh, I got goosebumps, girl. I got goosebumps.
Came around me, and it was that God reminded me in that moment that he said, I promised you that this would be your portion, because of how I pour out to people, that when it comes my time, and many of us as women never practice getting poured into, right? And so even when it comes, I'm good, I don't need nothing, Kita would sneak. Well, she wouldn't really sneak me. She'd be like, eat these cookies. So she was literally my cookie monster. Reminded me when to dance, reminded me when to cry, because it was like automatic. I'm going to do the things that I need to do. I always do what's required, right? But then there's some things that's just for you. There's some things. And so one of the writing pieces that we both co-authored. My chapter in there was the last goodbye to my mother. And so the day that I knew that she was dying, and everybody doesn't know that, those final moments where I knew those would be the final moments with my mother. And if you knew the final moments, what would you say in those moments? And so I get to carry that with me, because her last breaths with her telling me that she loved me, or couldn't even speak, right? I mean, we talking about at the end, go ahead and cue all the violins and the tears coming, but I knew that would be my last time. And so being able to write that, right, was a healing process for me, because I needed to be able to get that out of me, to be like, I love this woman, but the one thing she never taught me how to do was live without her. And then I'm here and I gotta live without you, and I'll be like, I don't want to. There was also a realm of forgiveness that needed to happen in that point, because then I was mad at everybody else who had a mama. Well, you don't even treat your mama right. I actually loved my mama, Lord. What she doing up there? Now I understand it was a whole plan. Mama couldn't wait to get to heaven so she could send all these doggone grandchildren down here. She knew they was. And I had to say, Ma, we full over here. Don't send no more children. Don't send no more children. We can't fit. We literally can't fit them nowhere. But Mama is like, ooh, that one cute. Send that one. Ooh, look at that one. Look at this. I know what the pick and choose process is up there in heaven. And I literally had to pray, dear Lord, whoever at the baby gate is getting unlocked. Somebody lock the baby gate.
Please shut the gate, Lord.
I promise you. And the final thing that I'll mention as part of this journey is, and Nikita has been such a paramount sister in the part of this, that now I'm a year and some months married, right? All of these things happened, or he wouldn't have made it. Let's just put it right there. He's breathing right now because of the time that I took for myself to heal, right? And some of the healing is still happening while he's here, but it took I can't blame him for everything, but I also can't blame myself. And then we were able, we ain't nothing but two nerds in love with each other. That's all. Read a book, or we gonna do something corny. The rest of our family is like, we don't even want to be bothered. All right, well, we going to the aquarium. We gonna go to the museum. We gonna go sit down at the water and just hear things. But God knows what our heart is. The thing is that I got married when I was 50. I was 50 when I got married. That means I could write a book just about being single, because I did all of the things that I needed to do. But I said there was one thing that I desired. And when we really understand our connection with God, God's going to give us what we ask for.
Yes.
Whether you know what to do with it or not, ain't my business. But He's going to give you what you ask for. And it is up to us individually, whether women, men, wherever station in life you're in, to do the work to prepare for the things. All of us say we want the money. What you gonna do with it when the money get here? And that was kind of how this life coaching was birthed, because people would call me and tell me about their problems, and I'd be like, well, you need to do so. And then I just went and got a certification for it, said, teach me how to do this in a more formal manner, because I've been doing this. This is a gift that God has given me. I am a visionary, and I see in a vision mindset. So somebody could see 2 blocks. I see a 10-bedroom apartment building, right? So it just is different for how God shows it to me. And when somebody is talking to me about a dream, not something that, if you could do it yourself, don't call me. I could say just like, I'm not the one for you if it's something small. But if it's something that you believe that's bigger than yourself, the gifting that's been inside of me is that I'm able to see and tilt it, as sweet as she is right here. I need you to know,
I believe it.
It is not always that way, because she will show up as a Virgo or whatever else.
Now, are you an August or a September Virgo? I want to know.
I am a September Virgo. I am actually born on the cusp of Libra. So I deal with them.
Here's the fun part. Her and my husband born 2 days apart.
You are a Verbra.
I'm a Verbra. Hey.
2 2 days apart. I couldn't get away from them if I
Girl,
wanted
I'm so
to.
scared right now. I'm like, baby, listen here.
No,
What?
yeah. Sometimes I tell people because I'm pretty calm, and I kind of tell them, you know, you don't want these problems. You don't want these problems
At
Because,
all. My
it-
baby sister's a Libra. I've been dealing with Libras all my life.
So I just have to. I had to. That's why I pray the way I do, because I know I could be a problem. Some of my
you say it
thoughts,
often.
Lord
I'm the
God,
problem. I'm
I
the
have to
problem.
call on.
But you know what
Dang.
you said about you got to be careful what you ask God for, because I'm the person who, like you said, being accountable, right?
Yeah.
And you have to realize what some of the things that have happened to you are your fault, somewhat, some kind of way, right?
We had a hand in it.
And I was with the same man for 17 years. He's the father of my children. He, you know, I raised 2 of his children that I didn't give birth to, but they're my kids as far as I'm concerned. And we had 2 together. And I've talked to people and they be like, you always confuse me when you say you have 4 children. I have 4 children.
Yes.
When you raise and feed and go without food and things, 4 children, they are your children. I don't do that bonus stuff. Those are my kids, right? But what I do own up to is the fact that just because, and I made the mistake that a lot of women make, when you have life and you bring life into the world with a person, you feel obligated because of the traditional ways that we have been taught
Brainwash.
that you have to be with this person. But God clearly told me before I ever said one I do, because we lived together 7 years before we got married, to the day. We moved in together on Valentine's Day. 7 years later, we got married on Valentine's Day. Okay? And God said, don't you dare marry that man. He is not the man that I chose for you. But Carla,
they say
decided
we're gonna fix it.
That because he is the father of her baby lambs, who she loves more than life itself. Me and this man is getting married, I see.
We gonna make it work.
And baby, I suffered.
Girl,
until the day I got them divorce papers on my doorstep.
Papers is right here, girl, within arm's reach. Don't play with me.
Because he was meant to be one of my best friends, but God never told me that man should have been my husband. But what I do accept is, for whatever reason, and this is why I tell people, you can't always go off for it. I love the Bible. I love the Bible. I'm not gonna get on here because people be like, the Bible. Hey, don't come after me.
Okay.
But I will tell you, God saw fit for the only people for me to give life with was that man. For whatever reason, the ancestors and God decided that bloodline had to exist. Nothing's a mistake ever, right?
Right.
No other men have ever been able to have children with me, just that one man. And I produce greatness with that man because my children are great. And that's one of the best things I could say that I ever did. I never intended to be anybody's mama. I had in my mind that I was going to be the fabulous auntie forever. My sister, the Libra, is the one who wanted all the kids.
Same thing. I'm trying to figure out how that happened. My sister has 1 and 1. If I would have known.
What is happening, God? And not only that, I turned into my big mom because my big mom was the person who took anybody in. We could get up in the morning and it'll be 3 people in the living room, on the couch, on the pallet, on the floor, in the kitchen eating breakfast with us, whatever. We didn't even know these people. But Lily Mae, Big Mama, taught me that you have to take care of other people, because if you don't take care of other people, God is not going to take care of you.
Come on now.
And I did prison ministry for 20 years with Piney Grove Baptist and Phillips Chapel Missionary Baptist Church. I also taught children's church for 20 years because God gifted me to be a teacher and an encourager. And as y'all know, when you gifted with something,
Yeah.
that's how the devil tries to attack you also.
Mm.
And because I encourage others, guess what the devil tried to get me? And because he knew that I was an absorber of knowledge, I speak 3 languages fluently because that's the gift God gave me. When people say, how did you learn language? I say, I don't know. I just listened and started speaking them. That was the gift from God.
That's the gift. That's
And
the
then
gift.
God will try, he'll give you one thing and the devil will try to give you something else. Right? But being multilingual has allowed me to support me and my children for years and years and years. And it was something I fought against. Being a Black girl that was multilingual. I didn't even want people to know I knew to speak 3 languages for a long time. Because sometimes you feel like an outcast when you're intelligent in our community.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And you know, you hit on the head something really big there. So those who know me know education is a big thing for me, right? Because it's one education was the thing that opened doors for me in a way that doors had never been opened before. And it was somebody telling me, no, we can't pay you because you didn't have a degree, or no, or no, we can't give you this because it wasn't a degree. And so then I was like, well, then I'm gonna get them all. Who you saying no to? Who you saying no to? But also because that was the way that it happened for me, and God was big on that. It was I was the smartest one, right? And I don't say that as a brag, because it was a burden growing up, because we were not taught to be proud of that, right? We weren't taught. It was like, you could be smart, but don't let nobody know. You could know stuff, but don't let nobody know what you know. And how stifling that is. We often talk about self-esteem issues when it comes to our looks, right? Honey, I done had this big behind my whole life, so I don't know what to tell you on that. Like, we is fine over here, but nobody really took the time to say, you know, it's okay for you to be as smart as you are. You know, it's okay because we got the mandate of, we got to be twice as good, right? We got that mandate, but we didn't get the fortification that was required when we were the ones that heard the call and answered it. So now I'm one of the smart ones. I'm on honor roll, but I don't want nobody to know that, because apparently that's not the cool thing to do. And then you don't know what that does in the self-esteem of a young person who then now is in boardroom. Because my mama taught me that I could go into any room because we were trained. Like Linda was like, and you will go into this room. And
wait, what you say your mama's name was?
Linda.
That's my mama's name, Linda Gale.
Listen, Linda who?
Linda Gale.
Linda Gale, Linda Michelle over here. So she said it. You're gonna be in every room, and to this day, you can't. I don't go into rooms now. Of course, you know I'm an introvert. I'm gonna say it out loud. So
we talk about that part.
I believe it.
So when I come home to my husband, he'll be like, "Oh, girl, y'all was loud." Yeah, but when I get quiet, I'm all the way quiet. Don't worry about me. And he'll be like, "Babe, you all right, honey? I'm fine. I gotta recharge. I could give everything that I need to get out, but that recharge, he know exactly what to do. Take that girl to the water, because."
And it's funny you say that, because I'm an ambivert. As much as I'm social, I have to be to myself, right?
Yep.
And I'm just now at 51 admitting that, I might want a person. And I think that the way God's going to send me a person is going to be very non-traditional to people. Well, I will say that maybe I feel like God has sent me a person, and that people will be like, what? You know, and I'll be like, but it works for me. Now, as far as being an ambivert, I gave birth to an introvert, my Pisces.
Gotcha.
And she was the one who always stuck up under me. I breastfed her for 18 months. Okay. And I just knew she would be the one that would stay home. And my Capricorn would be the one to bust out and be the one that left home and never came back. But what happened was the Pisces, the introvert, graduated from North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. And when she left my doorstep, she never came back.
Gotcha.
She lives in Greensboro and takes care of herself very well. And now she's en route to being a doula. And my baby, who is an introvert, loves taking care of other people. But she doesn't have any children. She takes care of her nieces and her nephews and things of that nature. And my kid that I just knew was going to go out here and just burn the world up, that's the one who has stuck closer to me. Me and her have had our battles, me and that Capricorn. But that's Pinky's mama. And
Gotcha.
she birthed my best friend who was 6 years old, almost 7.
Yes.
And just the light of my life, you understand?
Yes,
So I get what you're saying, how life has all these things that you don't anticipate. And when I watch your show, you encourage me because sometimes the encourager needs encouraging.
That's the purpose of it all.
Yeah.
And I just, I really thank God for, let me shout out Rasheen. Because he was who told me about you. I just happened to be one day, he was like, hey, I hadn't heard about Karen at the time. I met Karen through, the circles. And I said, she has a podcast. He was like, yeah, on my channel. What? So I started watching the podcast. And I was like, these sisters are phenomenal. And they are speaking my language, And I just want to thank him because he put me on your path. You know what I mean? You ladies really have spoken to me. And the interview you did with his mom made me think a lot too. I was like, because I never, ever in life, I didn't have children young, but my grandma started having children. The 92-year-old grandma that I told y'all about that passed away. She had my Uncle Tyrone at 14. She had my daddy at 15. No, she had Uncle Tyrone at 13. She had my daddy at 14. She had my uncle at 16. She had my Aunt Vanessa at 19. She was a child. And men did a lot of things to her.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And as I grew up, I didn't understand my grandma. But when I became a grown woman, walking around with her hips on my back, because everybody says, you look just like Georgia. And I had a man stop me cold in my tracks in Florida one time. He said, do you know a woman named Georgia? And I said, yeah, that's my grandma. He said, good God, you look just. And girl, he was looking at my hips when they said, I said, this, please.
Come on, Grady, go on somewhere.
But it's just something about the bloodline.
It is.
And how God has allowed us to get rid of the bad stuff, but incorporate. I grew up, my father's a musician. My father played 10 instruments proficiently. Just like I learned languages, just like I could touch you and heal and make you calm down, my daddy had the gift of music. And he was a comedian before I ever thought about it. My grandma died, let me tell y'all, September. The week before she died, she quoted Paul Robeson to me fully. She still had his poems in her head. That's who I come from.
Yeah.
And I embrace all of that. Those that came before me made me who I am, but I want to make sure that when I leave here, my grandchildren will have access to more than I ever had access to.
Yeah, legacy.
It's all about
I am
legacy.
building a legacy. And I say that I'm getting ready. I dropped out of college, but I'm going back at 50. I'll be 52 when I go back to school this year. And I'm just like, Carla, are you doing the right thing? But Spirit already told me, yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are like, why are you going back to school? You're acting, you doing this and that, because that's one of the, I don't believe in regrets. And that's one of my regrets,
Right.
that I never graduated college and I never finished pledging. And I am pledging. I don't care what the good saints are going to say. I'm going to be in a sorority.
Which one?
And
Sis? Which one? Do you know which one?
Lord.
Surprise, surprise. Oh, I'm sorry.
I like red. I love it.
Okay.
That's my favorite color.
Okay, I see that.
Orange.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, that's why I'm just going to say, I love red. It's my power color. And it's okay.
Mine too. Same here.
But you know, one of the things as you were talking, Carla, is imagine all of the things that had to come into alignment right now for right. And so it would seem unconventional that all you would have to share to say. And now I've decided this is the thing, you know. Shout out to our good friend Marisol, you know, and the testimony that she's working on, and some of the things we God allows us to see. When we talked yesterday and you just shared a snippet of your testimony and how what we would rather sometimes miss, right? Lord, I would rather not go down that road, but down that road was what is leading you to your lifelong thing. So that degree, it ain't got nothing to do with nobody. I promise you, I got one of my degrees hanging at the house, and the people at the job always say, well, Karen, how come you don't hang your other degrees in this office? I said, because that one ain't for y'all. That was what God gave me extra, right? Yeah. I asked him for one, I got three. That's all I got to say for that. So when we hear the word telling us he will give us exceedingly abundantly more than we could ask, hope, or think. Like now, I'm like, oh, when I say it, Carla, I'm buying the block. And my kids are like, stop saying that. Like that.
Listen,
I
want some real estate, girl. I want some real estate.
We gonna have a class. I promise you. And this is a Rasheen thing. So I'm gonna share a fun fact with you. When I came down here, Rasheen, one of his good friends, is my daughter's godfather. I didn't know nobody was gonna be down here in North Carolina. We went to high school together, Rasheen and I. So knew his mother. Yes. Came down here, didn't know nobody. Him and his cousin Justine, we graduated high school the same year. We were in the same class. So came down here, didn't know anybody. Came down, and at that time, he was all into the stocks and the real estate. And I said, I don't know nothing about this. This ain't, you know, you go ahead. I'm going to support you because I'm a supporter. Oh, you go, okay, no problem. We're going to roll through, and I'm going to sit there. Within a year and a half, I purchased my first investment property, right? Outright. I tell you how God works, right? We went all around town. I think he was looking to buy stuff for his wife too. So we competing with each other. Wound up getting the property that I have now, signed the papers, closed on everything. They show you the history of the deed. My last name being Sims. The original owners of that land and that house, last name Sims. It all comes back full circle. It never was on the list of how we gonna do this. I don't know which Sims there is. I promise you, I don't know which Sims it is, but I do know this. When you give God a yes, it don't even got to be a big one. I just came down here. I never even thought about real estate before. Now I have strategies that I've never had before. I know how to do it. And now I have different conversations because, you know, Rashid, he'll tell somebody something, be like, come on, let's go get a building. I can't get a building with you. Me and my husband getting buildings. I don't know how we going to do that. But
I love it.
When we understand that this is not as far off as we think it is. I paid cash for that house. I wish I would have bought 10 more than 8 years ago because Lord have mercy. But what we know is that God has a plan for us, even if we don't know all the details. If we could trust Him with the work that's required to
Yeah.
sometimes take the alleyway, right, down to the main street. All things are gonna work together for our good. It doesn't matter that, yes, you may have some hiccups. Even when we think about the loss of our parents and the loss of our loved ones, in our minds and in our hearts, our first thing is to say, well, I would rather my loved one be here. But if we even thought differently, right, they can't help release the blessings that's above if they down here with us. Child, listen.
This is what I'm saying.
Mama, y'all good up there? All right, now that's on the electric
I
slide.
see you, Mom.
When I say they can do more in the spirit than they can ever do in the flesh, and I really believe my Aunt Sheila's up there. She was always taking care of our whole family. I know she's taking care of me. The day my Aunt Vanessa died, my dad's baby sister, I was standing on my patio and a warm wind it literally. Have you ever seen those movies, those Disney movies, where the warm wind wraps around you and the flowers are doing all that? Yeah, I had that same experience on my patio. And I came in and I sat on the couch and my phone rang and I saw it was my Uncle Tyrone and I knew Aunt Vanessa is gone because I felt her.
Yeah.
All over my body. Yeah. And I said, my God.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to hold y'all much longer. Look, we had so much. Look, I'm going to have to have y'all back out here. My God.
We just got started.
Baby, because listen, it's something when you start talking with people who got things on their mind. It's a whole different conversation.
It really is.
And one of my prayers is, God, don't let me be a bitter black woman.
Preach. That was my prayer after my divorce.
Men have hurt me. I can write y'all a book on the things men have done to me. Honey, I can write you a list of what friends have done to me.
Yeah.
I can write you a list on what I've done to myself. And how I've stood in God's way when all He was simply trying to do was help me. And I fought Him.
Tooth and nail.
Them.
Come
and
on.
People get upset when I say that, but listen. I know what it's like after giving birth to Nala, my 29-year-old daughter, my Pisces. My whole life changed. And when I heard women say that, I'd be like, whatever. When I had that baby, I was in labor with her for 72 hours before they induced me. And I still had to have a C-section. And when she came out hungry. Because she was hungry. And we were just looking at each other. And I felt my soul at that point. I really can't explain it to anybody. But my soul did something different. And I knew that I would do anything to protect her. And I felt the same way when I gave birth to Nikita. And we're talking about names. I named my children intentionally. I studied. I was attacked on my job. I've told the story before. When I was pregnant with my twins. And I had them stillborn at 8 months. And they were going to be named Divine and Destiny. But what happened was I had Nala and Nikita. And their middle names are their sisters' first names. Because my daughters will always be together forever. And God allowed me to name my children Nala, Victorious One in Swahili, and Nikita, the Stubborn Warriors. And that's who they are today. I was going to name them Soul and Luna, to tap into my Dominican roots. But God saw fit for me to name them Nala and Nikita, and that's who they are.
Fun fact, my car is named Luna.
Really? I love it. And so, everything has its sauce on it, right? Special ingredients. And that's why I believe nothing's a coincidence. Everything is intentional. God, the ancestors, we are literally their wildest dreams. I love that shirt. I love that bumper sticker. Every time I see it, I say, I literally am my ancestors' wildest dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so ladies, before we dip off, we got 5 minutes. I want you to give each one of you a word of encouragement to the listeners, to all these people listening to us on Blast Music 247, Pandora, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, because so many people come back to me later and say, hey, I was listening to this while I was working. I want you to know that blessed my life. So what would you tell somebody? What would you, Karen, tell somebody right now if somebody is sitting in their room crying? Because, you know, we've all done that. Crying, not knowing what in the hell we gonna do. Because all the bills are due tomorrow. And we ain't got not a dime. We in the negative. What you gonna tell them,
You
Karen?
know, my quick word is going to be, it will all work for your good. It does not mean that the tears are not going to fall. But, you know, when you really realize that God counts the tears, you won't mind crying as much. It's not a bad thing to let the tears fall. Why? Because you'll usually be lowering your blood pressure. You'll be surrendering to the plan that God has for your life. You'll be surrendering to you did all you could do, and now ain't nobody but God gonna take you through. When I tell you in this moment, remind you, his record is good, right? It didn't mean that we didn't have bumps and bruises, but you see 3 strong, powerful women sitting here in front of you to let you know that the bad days won't be this way always. And we don't want to forfeit. And so I shared the story. At one point, I decided that I wanted to end my life because I thought that there was no purpose. And all God said to me was, hold on, because there's another chapter. There are other chapters that I want to show you. So I want to remind you, sister, remind you, brother, there are other chapters that have not even been released. Listen to that, right? Trust that there is something in you that even you may not know. But God knows. He knows that there is power. He knows that there is purpose. He knows that there is more to you that the world is waiting for. So you got to just hold on. I promise you, I let the tears fall now. I did strong black woman all day. You're going to see some tears because I understand heaven moves when my tears fall. So I ask you, give yourself the gift to release those tears and watch heaven move on your behalf.
And even after you I got to jump right on this because I'm your flow, sis. I caught your flow. Even after you let those tears release and you surrender all of those emotions to God through those tears, through maybe even your yelling, your kicking and screaming, you need to embrace the moment. Because even though those bills are due, check it out. In every single bill that's due, there's a grace period. And I need you to understand that his grace is sufficient for you in every moment. So, baby, buckle up, buttercup. Put your big girl pumps on and get on up and make that phone call that you need to make and ask for what you need. Because here's the deal. You have not because you ask not. Because our Father is rich and owns 1,000 on the cattle, 1,000 cattle on the hill, all of them. He owns it all. He's the master of everything. He's all powerful. He's all knowing. He's all seeing, and he's ever changing. So he has the power to change your situation. So go ahead and cry those tears, but get up. Because look, in a recent film that's become one of my favorites, the 6888.
Yes.
Kerry Washington says the line to her soldiers. The only way to consume an elephant is one bite at a time. So life might present as an elephant. That thing was so real when she said it. Life might present as an elephant, but one bite at a time. Baby, there's not one mountain that you could face one step at a time. You're gonna get over it. And if God doesn't allow you to or take you into a season of walking over, crossing over with your physical strength, he is just so God. He gonna move it out your way if you make that specific request, and if that is his will for your life. But either which way, like Karen said, it's already working for your good. It's already all right. It's already all right.
It's already all right.
And in the words of the Shunammite woman in the book of Kings, all is well. All is well. That's my favorite story in the whole Bible.
Love it.
Because God promised her. And she said, I don't care what y'all say. My son is not dead. And she called for the prophet. And the prophet came. And he did what he did through God. And all was well. Because she said so.
Speak well.
And I want to speak blessings on y'all. I thank y'all. Trying to do this. It's weird. I'm trying not to cry because I'm a crybaby. But I thank God for you ladies coming on tonight. I always get off of here and think. I sit and think. I'm going to drink and think. I'm going to eat some fish sticks and think.
This my girl.
But I'm going to think. Yeah, I'm going to keep it real because I got to taste with some fish sticks. Don't judge me. And I just want to thank you. And I pray that God just bestow upon you everything that you have the audacity to ask for. The things seen and unseen. I believe that God is going to bless you with 100 times more than what you even thought you could get. And beyond that. And may every blessing that you receive trickle down and bless those who deserve it and even those who don't deserve it. Because we too have been recipients of the trickle down blessings that we did not deserve.
Yes.
And I'm grateful. So I thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Until next time. Where can they reach you? And then we out.
Absolutely. Instagram, Twisted Threads. I'm on Facebook, Twisted Threads LLC. Same thing. YouTube channel. We've got over 200 videos. So we got our Reflections of Purpose that Rashim actually helped me produce over 150 of those videos. So you could go on the YouTube channel. Yes, I promise you, when we do it, we do it right. 150, 10 to 15 minute Reflections of Purpose, just to remind you how to get your how to get purpose within your life and to set the goals. Why? Again, because I'm here for you. So appreciate it.
Yes, and you can reach me on Instagram and Facebook as tilted_halo. Also on Instagram as Tilted Halo Unhinged. Of course, Nikita Hansford. I'm everywhere. We do have our engagement group, Unhinged with Tilted Halo. We have our tribe. Shout out to the tribe. Two of our tribe mates are here in the comment section, keeping it lit.
Hi, ladies. Hi.
And Marisol, those are our sisters that we work with. But yeah, we're there. Unhinged with Tilted Halo. Nikita Hansford. I'm all over the place. Public figure.
Hi, Rhonda. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Thank you, Shy. Thank you. And you know what? That sis right there, she has stuck with me ever since the day we met. And I just love her so much. Look, you eat a fish sandwich. That's how I'm missing too, y'all. Hi, Rhonda. You know, I just really feel blessed right now. I really feel blessed. Okay.
I saw that.
Y'all.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Until next time, everyone. Have a great night.
That's my girl right there.